share the presentation. But before the share, I will inform to audience. I will present about 2 or 3 kind presentation, and then about the basic, how to say, the basic knowledge before we going to the epic. How about the display?
It's visible, Mr. Hermawan.
Okay. Okay. First about the EV tech. Basically, the EV, we need the the battery, but the battery is not a single cell. The E cell will be designed or configuration in the serial and parallel. And then this we need to the basic knowledge about serial and parallel, because this have a lot of consideration before you making the spec. First, of course, we must know the battery rating. The battery rating is about ampere hour or watt hour, depend on the specification mentioned in the cell. But most of the information is for the battery is ampere hour. And then we must understand this ampere and hour. This means 1 ampere hour is the cell can give or can accept or receive the energy 1 ampere in 1 hour or 3,600 coulomb. This kind of the cell, just example, you have to see. And so many kind of the rating of the battery. Before we know 1 ampere hour, we must understand what is the 1 ampere hour. 1 ampere hour under 1 hour or half hour or maybe 3 hour or any kind. This also different, especially in the automotive battery. There's a different. This different. If we're talking 70 ampere hour, it means they can give 3.5 ampere under 20 hour, but we cannot say 7 ampere in 1 hour. It's different. We must see again what is the hour. And then we go to the measurement with and without load. We must understand when we measure the voltage of the battery, basically we measure about the nominal, the voltage of the battery and with the internal resistance. That will be indication like this. Indication about this. The meter will be show you 13.2, but if you give load, it will be different. They will be going down because they have a resistance. Also, when charging and when discharging, also different. That's you must understanding. This is making some different because they have a internal resistance, then they have a load. Even a charge or discharge, the indication will be different. And also when a dead battery, you will see almost the dead battery internal resistance very high. And then you can mention the indication why the voltage is going down, and then you can see drop voltage will be much bigger. And then that's about this. But some condition you cannot do this ampere hour in the field or in the outside. You must need the equipment. That's a bigger problem. But this is a you can checking in the specification. But you must remember that will be have voltage and resistance. That's will be indication how much the ampere hour. You have some equipment to show you the internal resistance. You can calculate. And then this about the battery and power system, the symbol of cell, and then the multi-cell. And then the battery, you must see the internal resistance inside the battery. If you have a design, if you know design of the cell, almost the higher of capacity will be have a biggest area of I say the contact of area is bigger, and then they're making the internal is lower. Is how to say, this is a some of the logical. You must understand this. The internal resistance in the electrolyte or electrode, and then so many current will flow from the contact positive to the electrode to electrolyte, and then coming to another electrode and go to the negative terminal. That's all is terminal will have a contact area. That contact area will give the limitation of the current flow. And then we can see the difference between the you can see when you're making the load, you only have one of that internal, and then you want to go to bigger ampere, you can making the parallel. This means the internal become lower. That's a concept of the parallel. And then you just mentioned this parallel connection and serial connection is different purpose. It's like this. You want to increase the volt, or you want to increase the capacity. This combination series and parallel. And then this the term. Single cell is one of the simple of the better tech. The cell doesn't make or have protect, but of small of single battery, sometimes they give us some protection electronic. There's so many kind, and then we can see how the series connection in the battery. If we have a 4 battery, we can see 3.6 until 40.4, but the ampere hour is still the same. Connection like this, actually in the fleet, and then this series connection will be making higher voltage. How about if one of the cell is different? This will be this happen. The voltage metal will show you lower. We cannot reaching the highest. Even the 3 cell is fully charged. One cell happen is showing like this. This is that the serial. Then how about the parallel? The parallel is the voltage will be same, and the capacity will be higher. Depend on how much you give the parallel. And you need higher capacity. You need more parallel. That's the concept of the parallel. But how about this one of the cell is problem? the lower capacity. The same with the series. The capacity will be lower down. 11.9 cannot to go to the maximum capacity. But the voltage is the same, 3.6. This combination will be series and parallel because we want to get a higher capacity and higher voltage. This is some configuration we can see in the market. There's a lot of the terminology, but combination of the cell, mostly we to have the protection. What is the protection? In the cell, most of the cylinder cell will be have, you can put in like PTC or CID. There's the function of PTC and CID almost have, you can see or you can get the cylinder. You cannot get in the ports, or you cannot get in the prismatic. That's a unique of the cell. You must remember, safety device in the cell only in the cylinder. In the ports or in the prismatic, they are not available for CID and PTC. What is CID and PTC? You can see this PTC. This is the metal will be different resistance if the temperature will be higher, the resistance will be higher. That will be reduce the current flow. And then CID will be interrupt the current. This current will be broken when the temperature or the gassing will be higher. And this, I think this are most of the important you must do when you're using the cell or the battery. Keep all the battery is clean, surface, everything, polarity must be same. Depend on the series of the secondary battery. Be careful. Anything about the material you must see, and room temperature. That's one of the sample of the serial in the battery. One is serial in the left side, positive, negative, positive. This is parallel in the floor. And then, so why the lithium battery cannot fit in the series? Because when we have the battery pack, most the suppliers say don't series, because the problem in the pack of the battery in the series, they have a pack protection, and then the pack protection will be stopped if they find one of the cell is over or lower than the number of protection. And then if you series the pack, if one pack, there will be stopped almost, not almost, it means the whole connection will be open. That's sometimes we don't want. This must be carefully to understand why. That's to consider to connecting in series or the pack, we connect, we say the pack battery. If you still need to do the series, you need give a special BMF with a master BMS that can go to control every cell in series battery pack. This is practical in the series and parallel. This most of the protection for the overcurrent, most of the people using fuse, but you can use CID in the cylinder. Then this the main use. but every single we can put the fuse is like how to say, this is like CID put in the every cell. Okay, this the final of the pack of the battery. This means the connection of the battery for the serial it will be increasing. If you want to high voltage, you need the serial of the cell, but not ampere hour. You need the parallel for put in increasing the ampere hour. And then in the bank, in the all battery inside in the one bank, you must have a same ampere hour. Most of uh, the battery pack company or the battery pack factory doing the grading. The grading is need to making the sum not only the ampere hour, they're also putting the same internal resistance similar of the voltage putting in the one bank. That's to quite some problem of the higher or lower or like a different in the inside of the pack. And then be careful. Every connection in the cell or in the battery is also resistant. There will be increasing the resistance in the cable, in the connector, and in the connection. Be be It's been be wise to making if you want to make a pack with a very high current. Please select the connecting between soil with a very low of the resistance. Then parallel bank was free. For the bank, we still can do the parallel, but doing it with the same voltage rating. But why the battery can damage? Because the cycling of gas is be careful. Then I will share you another. This is about about the ABC battery as industry. We built the lithium factory in Indonesia. And then the core of our business is this battery, alkaline battery and zinc carbon. Inside of the zinc carbon like this, and this alkaline battery inside of that. And then the new product from us is lithium, called the ABC lithium. This is the future energy or our next step. And what and where ABC in the supply chain of the battery. Basically, we are in the red square, and then this is our business. We built the factory only that's area. We starting in this LFP production, still not for NCA or NMC, but our facility can do for NMC and NCA. This is the whole machine we invest to do. And then this the material we need all for this also we need the aluminum foil. Of course, we don't have this industry, the aluminum foil. We have used many of the aluminum foil for the roof, for the food, for the many kind, but there's no any foil Indonesia can use for the battery. We hope somebody can do investment because this the process is not so complicated. It's easy. You can do copper and aluminum inside. And also separator is also there's no separator industry in Indonesia. We need to support somebody to in the separator because I saw that the machine is small, but we need quantity. And then the component like PPC and CID. Also, there's no any supplier in Indonesia. We hope somebody doing this. This the manufacturing process in our business only in this area. We have the production step and then we have the testing step in here. But how about the battery pack? This is the leak of the Indonesian testing. We need this, but as Mr. Nizam telling, this will need to somebody to invest. Of the another sample, and we hope also there's recycling. Now we be talking to some company to do this activity after we use in the electric vehicle, and then we can use for the second use life. But the problem for the second use life, that the recycling business is difficult. How to selecting, how to sorting, and then how to differentiate with the cell must be recycled and we can use for something. This also some question mark in here. Who will be do this? This is a lot of problem for doing the business. First, in this side is already investment in the Sulawesi, one company already running on 2020. But in this side will be yes, you can see a lot of the battery use. But there's the hope you can get the copper, you can get aluminum, there's so much. And then also for the component for the Indonesian, for the industry, we still need the cell component electronic like electrolyte, separator, binder, cathode, active metal, aluminum foil, PDF, packaging, any kind. There's no any in Indonesia. We hope someone can support the ABC making the us can buy the component in Indonesia. There's a problem in the red zone. But this opportunity, because we making the cell and then we need this all the component. And then we can see in the world who supply the cell component and electronic. In the cathode, anode, miners, MA1, everything. There's a lot of companies, but no any Indonesian company. That's the future for the EV. Today, they're doing like this. The next time, when the EV comes, the second layer and third layer will be moved. I give you here a simple video. This video showing to you what is industry of the cell in Indonesia, including the pack. What is the machinery already in Indonesia? in the first factory.
Hermawan, I think
Yeah.
the video's voice is not yet heard yet.
Oh, voice ya.
Yeah,
Saya cuma
the
suara
sound is
musik
not yet
sih.
heard. Yeah, the video sound is still muted, I think, Mr. Hermawan.
Okay, maybe no need to video. I will expand this better pack.
Okay, thank you.
We try to making some packer. Even this is just prototyping. We try to make a e-bike, e-motorcycle or e-scooter. That's all from the cylinder. That's the cylinder we produce. And then this for the solar street light. We try to make it and then we make sample and try and then we put in the some CP. Also we try to make the starting lighting and emission for the engine machine. Also in the testing under progress. All this is already made and progress in the testing in the field. Some is already 6 months, some is already 9 months or 3 months. This is the factory we built, the cell of the lithium. This is the one, our location in the West Jakarta. And then this the production facility, what we have and what we install in this factory, inside of the factory. This is the first for the keep the material, because they need the special warehouse. And then that's the mixing for the anode and cathode. This is only one coating. Actual coating, we have 2 lines. The open product. And then this calendaring or raw press to getting the good connection. And then this later to divide of the anode or cathode. After that, we need to dry again to avoid the water inside of the cell. Then we're doing the welding for the tap, for the polarity, negative. We go through winding machine. Then after when we fit in the can, and then the weld in the bottom or the body of the can, then we check 100% with X-ray. And we keep the cap welding the terminal in the positive cap. And next we need to dry again before we filling with electrolyte. This electrolyte filling, this room is zero humidity. And then this finishing, cleaning and everything. That's the whole of the room. You must be careful. This is not only clean, it's also less water in the air, less than 15%. And some area is 0%. After finish, this will be activate the cell, forming and grading. And then if we need the pack, we go to this area, grading the cell, putting the insulator of the terminal, and then doing the combination serial and parallel with the manual welding, or we can use the automatic welding. After that, there's a packer we can test. We're doing the testing. small voltage, medium, or high voltage, depend on the what kind of the pack. Then also the cell, we doing test. This is the labeling test. This is the cycle life. Now we doing the cycle a long time. There's a safety testing. Everything we can open for temperature, penetration, explosion, for the overcharging. We hope all of the safety issue we can do and we can see here to avoid something wrong about the design. Yeah, that's all the facility from the cell industry and pack and the laboratory test, including the safety test. Hope we have already completed of the testing for the cell, especially the cell. For the pack is only for the performance. Yes. That's all the information from me. Maybe I give back to moderator.